Let me ask you a personal question. What are you actually building? What are you actually working towards with your life? This is something that we need to keep in front of us constantly. Because if we don't, unintentionally, we're going to begin to drift. There's this concept in Outwitting the Devil called drifting. Russell Brunson kind of put his own spin on it, and I like how he puts it: the drifter versus the driven. And what happens is, without realizing it, we don't make the conscious decision to say, I'm going to drift. But if we do not keep clearly defined goals in front of us, it's what happens. Let me ask you this. Yesterday. Look at yesterday. Think about it. Think about your day. If you repeated yesterday 1,000 times in a row, would you actually be closer to your goal? Or did we just show up, go to work, do well? You're probably crushing it. You're probably thriving. You're probably getting raises and promotions, and you're doing great. You're probably the best salesman at your company and working towards it. You're doing great. And then after work, you come home, spend some time with the family. That's important. That's awesome. Spend some time with your spouse. Get a good night's rest so that you can show up and do it all over again. Is that your life? I've been there. Here's the problem. It feels pretty good. Feels good. Yeah, okay. Like, do some stuff, making progress, crushing it at work, leveling up, climbing the ladder, getting some raises. But sometimes it's like, so what? You ever have those thoughts? You ever get home and realize, what did I even do today? Answered some phones, checked some emails, put out some fires, made a sale or two, kept a couple customers happy. I remember I was working at a job in the corporate world. I was doing great, crushing it, like I said, making good money in the world's eyes. And I remember it was just a day job. If you guys have been around my channel for any length of time, you know I have a heart to help people escape their day jobs. I used to even have a company called Escape Your Day Job. And really it was just kind of based off my own life and my own story and my own desires. And I wanted it out. I did not want just a blur of a life building somebody else's business and fulfilling someone else's dream and vision. And that's okay for a season. But I remember I was like I said, having success from like a world standpoint, but it was just a day job. So every day it was just like me just low level tolerating it. It wasn't thriving. I wasn't thrilled. I wasn't like, yeah, let's go to work, baby. Let's get up. I'm up at 4 a.m. because I'm excited about life. That's how I live now. That's not how I lived then. And I remember praying this. I remember praying, God, speed the day up. I thank you, God, that today goes by so fast it's like that. Because I wanted to get out of the job to go home and be with my wife. Nothing wrong with wanting to go home and be with your wife. You should. But the goal in life is not to speed things up. God, I thank you today goes by fast. Because here's what happened. That prayer worked. And I noticed it. I remember consciously noticing it. Whoa, these days are going by so fast. And next thing you know, we'd accumulated weeks and months since I'd prayed that prayer. And it hit me. I don't actually want days to go by fast. I want to enjoy my time, enjoy my day, enjoy my work, enjoy what I do. That's different. It's very different. And I think that's the goal. We need to enjoy what we do. So what are we building is my point. Because if you're not careful, if you're not intentional, even if you have your own business, I mean, like I said, I've done it. I'm in full control of my time and have been for basically a decade. But you can still get caught up in the same things. You could still drift. I can fill up my to-do list with things that do not move the needle. You could have your to-do list of, I'm going to check emails. I'm going to text this person back. I'm going to call this person back. I'm going to build this on the website today. I'm going to send out this email. I'm going to do this, take the car to the shop. I'm going to book the landscape guy. And the next thing you know, you did a bunch of tasks and they felt important, but you didn't build anything today. You didn't move the needle at all today. And if you stack too many days like that in a row, you're going to look back on your life and say, what am I doing? What have I built? Where is it all? So what I'm encouraging you to do today is make the main thing your main thing. How do you want to serve your generation? In the book of Acts, it refers back to David. And it said David served his generation. David completed his purpose and served his generation. I like that thought. How's Travis going to serve his generation? In my mind, you've got a window of, I just say you've got 100 years. So I have from 1984 to 2084 to serve my generation. How am I going to do it? How are you going to do it? You ever ask God? He'll tell you. He's not withholding it. For you people who know that have been through my Discover Your Purpose challenge, you guys know that. God's not holding back your purpose and your calling like some kind of mystery. No, you know what it is. I don't want to get into it because I made 3 videos on how to discover your purpose in 72 hours or less. It's great. It's different than anything you've ever been through. I'll see if I can link it in the description. It's usually a paid kind of thing, but I'll see what I can figure out. But listen, how do you want to serve your generation? Or, this is what I want you to think on too. Are you just surviving, but maybe at a higher level? So a lot of us are in survival mode, but here's the problem. You're doing pretty good. You're still making 60, 70 grand a year, maybe you're making 100 grand a year. Your job's not that bad. You say things like, oh, I don't mind it. Oh yeah, I enjoy it. But deep down you're like, man, but I'd much rather be doing this. I'd much rather start this business. Oh, if I could build a life and a business around XYZ, oh man, that would be awesome. But obviously I can't because I don't have the college degree, or I didn't go to business school, or no one in my family's entrepreneur, or I don't know what I'm doing there. I couldn't. Lid limit. You're just listening to the devil. He's just keeping you compromised, keeping you settled. And next thing you know, you are thrilled with an average middle class life. You just blend in with everybody else. You talk like everybody else. You're worried about what everybody else is worried about. Nothing anointed, nothing special, nothing consecrated, nothing set apart, made holy for God. You don't have that. You don't feel that. You don't walk in that empowerment to prosper. You're not walking in the blessing. You're just walking in the blah. Just walking in the average. Just walking like everybody else. You have no evidence in you that God is your dad. Think on that for a minute. Are you serving your generation? Are you building something? Or are you just surviving at a higher level? This is important stuff for us to think on. We got to recalibrate. And the reason this is coming up is because I've done it to myself recently. That's how this works. That's how the show works. God gets on to me, then I get on to you. Fair enough? Someone's got to, right? I'm trying to be your friend here. It's so easy to show up for work, to show up for another day, and focus on just getting through the day successfully. A lot of us are just getting through the day, enjoying our nights, enjoying our weekends, go out on the boat, go out to maybe your lake house or something, enjoy your weekends, watch your Sunday football. Hopefully you're at least hitting church 25 minutes a week. And we just show up for our jobs so we can get through it all again. You just got to check yourself, man. Is that all you're living for? A lot of us are. A lot of us are doing that. And here's the deal. You be happy in all that. Like, you can be content in the sense of God. There's in 1 Timothy 6, it talks about being content plus godliness, having contentment and being godly. So what that means though isn't I'm just great with this life. I don't want anything more. That's not actually what that means. What it actually means is God's with me. I'm not a miserable, defeated, deflated, discouraged, depressed person. I'm happy. I've got a car that gets me from A to B. I've got a job. Thank you, Lord, for this job. I'm not thrilled with it. It's not where I want to be, but I'm thankful for it. It's paying the bills. I appreciate it. I'm going to show up and I'm going to crush it every day. That's great. Be content, but not satisfied. That's the difference. See, satisfied means you don't want to climb any higher. You don't want to go any further. You don't want to progress. You don't want to advance. You don't want to increase. You don't want to expand. But God's called us to expansion. It's the first command, Genesis 1:28. Go reread it. We are called to be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, subdue, and dominate. And that doesn't mean, man, have a lot of kids. Go reread it. So that's what I'm asking you. Are you following the original commander's intent of being fruitful, of multiplying, filling the earth, subduing, and dominating? Or are you just surviving? But you're surviving well. You make $100 grand a year. You're paying your house off. It'll be paid off by the time you're 60. You're probably able to retire when you're 65, 62. Get you a little Winnebago, drive around. Well, do all those things. Whatever. That's fine. I'm just trying to get you to dream bigger. I'm just trying to show you that often we've set our sights at the same level the world has, or less. We talk to people and it's like, hey, what's God doing in your life? Hey, what are you excited about? And the things they're excited about are just like, there's nothing special. There's no kingdom in that. There's no Christian in that. It's just, like, let me help you. Making $100,000 a year, that's nothing. I've made that in a month. I've made that in a weekend. I'm just telling you that because it's possible. You need to understand that. There's levels to this. I have friends who've made it in an hour. I know people who charge more than 100 grand an hour. There's levels to this. Paying your house off, getting debt free. Yes, please do it. But understand, that's the bottom of the barrel. We weren't supposed to be in debt in the first place. So if all you're believing God for is to just get to like ground zero, pay your debt off, make 100 grand a year, it's like, okay, I guess, but let's get there quickly so we can get past that to something that really matters. It's like this. This is all these examples play into what I'm trying to get across to you. A lot of people think that this whole life is about getting saved, surviving, so that life really begins when we get to heaven. And like, I get that concept, but here's what I'm trying to get to you is, cool, you're saved, awesome. Glad to have you in the family. Now let's take that, let's put that on the shelf, and let's go produce some fruit while we're down here. Let's go serve our generation. I'm trying to get you to write the book you're supposed to be writing. I'm trying to get you to start the YouTube channel you're supposed to start. I'm trying to get you to write the sermons you're supposed to be preaching. I'm trying to get you to start the business you should have started 5 years ago. I'm trying to get you to build something, not just survive at a higher level. It's a trap. It's a trick of the enemy. I did a small series. I think I'll make it into a book and a course someday, but called Escaping the Middle Class. I didn't know this, but apparently that ruffled some feathers with some people. They're like, well, the middle class, I'm middle class. We're the good people. There's the poor, I'm not the poor, and I'm not the greedy rich. I'm the good people. I'm the middle class. You're not thinking godly when you say that. You're not thinking kingdom when you say stuff like that. There's no good people, bad people. Like, there's good people who are poor, middle class, and rich. There's bad people who are poor, middle class, and rich. I mean, like, you're thinking totally wrong and totally worldly. That's not what I'm talking about. I say escape the middle class because I'm trying to get you to do something special. God did not make any of you middle class. He didn't make any of you economy. He didn't make any of you cheap. You are God's highest form of creation. He made nothing above you. You are his best. You are his highest. And he made you with a purpose. It says he blessed you. Genesis 1:26 through 28. He blessed you. He empowered you to prosper is what that technically means. He gave you the power to prosper. Put your hand to something. Ephesians 2:10 says he planned good works for you to do before time. And when you get on that path, It says it's the prearranged, blessed life. It says it's living the good life when you get on that path to do the things he's called you to do. Man, I'm trying to get you to get out there, to be fruitful, to multiply. Fill the earth with your blessing. Fill the earth with these books and these teachings and these things you're going to do and these businesses you're going to create and the value you're going to add. Get out there. Stop surviving at a higher level. What God recently spoke to me to recalibrate me is he said, Travis, you need to make the main thing the main thing. All right? I've got these businesses. I got these YouTube channels. I have multiple channels. Links in the description for all the stuff, right? I'm helping Christians. I'm helping 10,000 Christians get to $10,000 a month in passive income. We're making an impact. We're working on stuff. We're doing cool things. But he said, Travis, you're not making the main thing the main thing. You've been focusing your calling around your business, around your work, or look at it like this, around your day job. You've been making it your side hustle. Your calling needs to be your main thing. And when it comes to making money and stuff, that's the stuff you do on the side. You squeeze that around your calling. So if you're called to teach and preach, I'm not telling anybody to quit their day job today, but I am telling you to start making plans to. I am telling you to start building something. If there's a book in you, you know you're supposed to be writing, write on it for 20 minutes a day. Just start. Just start, please. Put it in your phone. From 6:15 in the morning to 6:45 in the morning, you're writing on your book. Because then at least you built a little something today. And if you repeat it today 1,000 days in a row, you'd at least have your book written. You at least would have built something. If every day is a brick that you stack, would you look back in 1,000 days and have built a beautiful mansion out of these bricks? Or would it just be a pile of bricks? Because all you did today was check email, reply to some customers, made 2 sales, had lunch with your boss for an hour and 15 minutes, came back, you were sluggish and tired, weren't really productive after your lunch, and you kind of just checked your email again, put out a couple more fires. Is that your life? It was mine. It's not a great way to live. It's pretty miserable. It's not fulfilling. And now that I'm on the other side, and I'm living the greatest life imaginable, the life I can't wait to wake up for, I'm trying to get it to you. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this life into you. It's a ton of fun. It's a great way to live. Man, we're helping people. We're blessing people. We're building something. We're serving our generation. I don't got it down perfect. I haven't arrived, but I've at least left. I'm at least on the path. I'm at least on the journey. I'm trying to get you to come with me. Let's build something today. Man, if you've got sermon ideas to preach and to teach, start writing them. Start writing those things. You don't need to go to seminary. You don't need to go to Bible college. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Just write them. Let God write through you. But see, you ain't moving your hand. It can't work through you. You got to be moving. That's like saying, God, I want to lose weight. And he's like, hit the gym. We didn't even go to the gym. You didn't do some push-ups. Get you a treadmill. Go run around the block. Do some squats over here. Like, do something. You want to write a book? Start writing. Move those fingers. Pull up the Google document at least. Title it and make the outline. Put something in your phone, like I said, where you work on it for 20 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the morning. Just do something. Please hear my heart. I'm trying to get you to move. I don't want you to just survive at a higher level. Man, I see this across the board at all ages. People, godly kids at 15 are struggling with this. And then I talk to somebody who's 25 and they're struggling with this. Then 35, then 45, then 55, then 65. It's going to just keep going. And next thing you know, you're going to look back and you're 65, 75, 85 years old. And you're like, what have I done? What have I built? I've had conversations recently with people who are about 40 years old, and they've already built these massive multi-million-dollar companies, making tens of millions of dollars a year, and now they feel like they're starting over because they're like, what have I done? This is not fulfilling. This isn't what I want. I'm not doing what God called me to do. I didn't do anything for the kingdom. It's like they wake up and have this realization of like, I built something awesome, but it means nothing. It has no fulfillment in it, and now I'm going to shut it down and start over and work on my purpose. Man, I've seen people, like I said, do that at all ages and stages of life. What if you just started with that thing? It doesn't have to be this journey where you like do all this stuff off course, and then when you're 35, 45, and maybe you've made some money, and then now you course correct. No, who said? Just get on the path now. You know what it is. It's the idea and the thought and the thing that's been in the back of your head this whole time. You can do it. Who do you think put that idea there? The devil? No. Ephesians 1 says you're united with Christ. In Corinthians it talks about we have the mind of Christ. John 15 says if you abide in me and I abide in you, my word remains in you and you remain in me. Ask me anything and I'll do it for you. Anything. That's you now. Jesus abides in you. You abide in him. You abide in his word. And you prayerfully consider things. You love God. You're united with Christ. Where do you think those ideas come from now? We need to give those ideas honor. God's giving you the ideas to get you out from whatever you're under. To put you on that place of your calling and fulfillment where it's like life on another level. He's giving you those ideas. You just talked yourself out of them. You just said that obviously wasn't God. That must have just been me. Because in order for me to preach, you know, I would have had to go to seminary, and I'm just too old for that now. I got a wife and kids, and I got just too much going on. We got bills to pay, so obviously I couldn't take time off from work to go to seminary, so therefore I can't preach. So maybe instead of that, I'll just work really, really hard to be the best car salesman at my shop. What are we doing, guys? Trying to light a fire under you. God's lit a fire under me. He keeps recalibrating me, correcting me, widening the path beneath my feet. Trying to get to do the same thing to you. Just examine yourself. Look at your life today and your drive to work. What am I doing? What am I building? If I repeated today 1,000 days over, would it be closer to my goal? What is my goal? Making more money is not a goal. Just paying your house off, that's cool, but that's not your main goal. Do it, but that's not your main goal. That's not what you're living for. What are you living for? On your deathbed. I did this exercise. We're wrapping the video up. On your deathbed, I did this exercise for myself. I said, what 3 things would need to have happened for me to be like, I had a good run. This was awesome. I'm ready to roll out. Think about that for you. What are those 3 things you would have had to have done for you to be like, okay, this was awesome. I'll run my race. Let's roll out. On to phase 2. Think about that for yourself. Let those things be your North Star. Let those things be what guide you to make sure you're building something. I've got 3 things. If I do this, this, and this every single day, no matter what, I will hit these 3 life goals. Build that in. I love you guys. If you found any value in this, would you please hit that like button? Subscribe to the channel. Sign up to see more of these videos. Share this with somebody you know who might feel like they're just existing through the day, feeling like a zombie. Every day they go to their day job, their soul dies a little bit. Send it to that person. I was that person. I'm not anymore. And I want to bring you guys with me. I love you. Thanks for listening. I got links in the description if you want me and my team's help of going to the next level in your life, increasing in every area, in your faith, in your finances, in your family, in your fitness, in your fun. Click the links in the description. Let's hang out a little bit more. I hope you get there. Love you. See you in the next one.